Body bags were horror lies.
Hello and welcome to Body Bags. My name's James and I'm your Sunday night reviewer. And for the end of our 1973 theme week, I was going to be doing the Candy Snatchers, but it's not in my collection at the moment. It's at someone else's house, which is a bit dumb of me. So I decided to take a look at Nicholas Roeg's Don't Look Now, a kind of rather infamous horror movie from obviously 1973, with Julie Christie and Donald Sutherland within this one. So basically our movie, we have Donald Sutherland and Julie Christie. I think it's John and Laura, the names. So they're a married couple, and they are living in England, but there's this tragic accident where they're at this country house and their daughter accidentally drowns in a pond outside. A significant visual of this is that she's wearing a red raincoat. Well, they're completely distraught, obviously, destroyed as parents, and they're struggling through their relationship with this. They actually have another child that's in boarding school in England, but John takes a job doing a renovation work on a church actually in Venice. So he goes there with his wife and to help kind of with the grieving process, to help kind of try and get their lives back on track. Anyway, basically that he John is kind of seeing these visions, maybe. He sees flashes every so often. He sees a child in a red coat. But he can't quite get to them. He sees them quickly and then it disappears. And anyway, they're at this restaurant having some food, and Laura, she happens upon this elderly couple, these two ladies, one of which is a blind psychic, and she tells her that she's seen her daughter. Obviously this has quite an effect on Laura, and she actually ends up fainting and gets taken to hospital. But that kind of triggers something inside, and there's this rather famous sex scene between the two. Pretty graphic for the time, probably actually for now as well, thinking about it. But yeah, and then they go out for dinner, and again John sees as a child in a red coat. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that he's having these visions. But anyway, Laura meets with the two elderly ladies, and three of them hold a seance. And the daughter basically tells the psychic that John, her dad, is in danger and he has to leave. So obviously there's a bit of an argument with this. It's all kind of like he's just blaming Laura, saying that she wants to leave and like he can't leave, it's the middle of a big job sort of thing. But then they get this like strange call that the son has been in an accident, but rather than both of them leaving, John decides that he has to stay and like finish the working on the church. So he's there alone. He's home alone basically. But then there's this accident that happens, and it's with the scaffolding. He interprets that was why he had to leave. That was what his, if anything, if he's to believe it, that's what his dead daughter has seen, and he's avoided it. He's okay. But then later, he sees actually his wife. He sees Laura with his sisters, and it's this basically this funeral parade. It's obviously in Venice, so you don't have it like a horse-drawn cart or a car or anything like that. It's on boats in Venice. So he sees this boat going past. He's a bit freaked out by this because obviously she's meant to be with the son that's had an accident. So he contacts the police, and they're kind of a bit, this sounds a bit suspect. So they kind of start following him as well, checking up on what he's doing. And again, he keeps seeing these visions. He keeps seeing this child in a red coat, and yeah. So anyway, he decides to contact the school, and his wife Laura is there. Laura, sorry, she is at the school. So he goes to tell the police that it's a big mess up. He apologizes. His wife is there. But when he's at the police station, like the old woman, the couple, the old women, they're in for questioning, and so he's apologizing. He's kind of taking them home, well, back to the home of the hotel where they're staying. But then she starts to see visions again after John has left, and she's pleading with the other old lady to go and get him because she's like, something horrific is about to happen. But she can't find him. He's gone. But John has seen the girl in the red coat, the little girl in the red coat, and he manages to catch up with her and corner her. And she turns around, and it's this elderly dwarf, this old lady, who slices his throat with a meat cleaver. If you're not paying attention to the movie, there's this kind of, you can't even call it a subplot. You can hear in the background that there's mentionings of a serial killer that's going around killing women. And this is our serial killer. It's this vertically challenged elderly lady running around in a red rain mac, killing women, and you don't know the reason why she kills John. She doesn't look particularly scared when he turns around. She's just like smiling at him, and yeah, she just slices his throat. That's how it is. Well, it's yeah, like I said, you might not have noticed that if you're not really. It's easy to miss. I think it may be a couple of my first couple of viewings of this film over years ago that I didn't even hear any of that, because I was always like, what's this? What is the deeper meaning? I mean, it's like, is the dwarf like real? I was like, is it that the dwarf is like his grief and he kind of can't handle what happened and he commits suicide or something like that? But then, like, one of the times I was listening and like reading up on the movie and stuff like that, and it's like, oh no, it's actually a little more simplistic, not quite as kind of, not something that you have to like dive into to understand the mechanics of like what's going on. It's just a very straightforward, if not well communicated, serial killer that doesn't really make a lot of sense. But anyway, it's a fantastic movie, like set in Venice, so it looks superb, and you have two very, very good main actors with this movie, and you hold it to such high esteem that you believe all the pain and the anguish that they're going through, and the fear that we have of Laura, that the husband is going to die, and the heartache that she's trying to connect with her daughter, and he's just blocking off and actually running from his pain, sort of thing. So it's quite an anguish to watch these two together, and it's quite a sad end to the movie. It's quite an unexpected end to the movie as well, like how it all finishes. But I think at least most people have heard about this, especially if you're like watching this channel, like into horror movies. If you've not seen this, which I highly recommend you do see, you'll have at least heard of it. But it's a fantastic movie, and it's one that everyone should watch at least once. But anyway, that's the end of the review. I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and I'll catch you next week. Thank you. Good night.